can have the lamb ribs, please. Lamb ribs are cut from the breast, and I lived on breast of lamb when I was a student. I used to braise them in one piece all the time. Now I go for the ribs, which I roast with cumin seeds and nigella seeds, and I can tell you it's the way forward.
Thank you.
Because I want to keep the flavour of the lamb ribs to the fore, I'm not coating them in a sticky glaze, because this is really about the marriage between spice and meat. I start with nigella seeds. I mean, if you have a spice with the same name as you, it's a bit rude not to use it. Their slight lemon-scented pepperiness is boosted by the glorious pungency of cumin. Hard for me to have lamb without cumin. The fat on the ribs means I need only a little oil, just to help the spices stick to them. To highlight the sweetness of the meat, the saltiness of some soy sauce. All I need now is some garlic, quite a bit of garlic. Just mince them in. So all I do is schmooze the ribs in this scant mixture, just so they're glossed with conker shiny liquid and freckled with spices. Because they're a fatty cut, I roast them on a tin with a wire rack, so all the excess fat drips down, but still, it's that fat which gives them all the flavour and that lip-smacking stickiness. You certainly need a lot of napkins when you eat these. I was recently told that the literal translation of nigella seed in Arabic is seed of blessing, which seems entirely right for any sort of meal. I cook these in a low oven just till the meat is tender and the fat crisp. With these, I make my feta and avocado salad, and I drape both avocado and feta in red onions, which I am steeping in red wine vinegar. And what this does is take out the acrid burn of the onion. I can't eat raw onions any other way. And by the time I'm ready to make the salad, these strips will have turned a beautiful lambent puce. Inspiration for this salad comes from my sister Horatia, who often serves chunks of feta sprinkled with nigella seeds. Call it family solidarity. My version builds on this, adding avocado. The soft creaminess contrasts beautifully with the saltiness of the cheese. A scattering of pomegranate seeds provides fruity tang. And then those lucent strips of onion, all together so prettily pink and green. Finally, a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Along with some warm flatbread, this is all the accompaniment the lamb ribs need. And I'm ready for my sister and her lot to descend. Here we are, ribs.
Oh,
your favourite, is she?
Oh, divine. Ella, that's for you. Lovely.
Do you like avocado?
Oh, these look fantastic.
How about some
And I'll just do mine.
favourites?
I'm going to just dig in, I'm afraid.
Oh, these are so good.
I'm smearing Nigella seeds all over my cheek, but I feel I'm entitled. Hello, can I have the bavette?
Of course you can.
Thank you. It's the whole of it.
Yeah.
Lovely. Bavette steak is cut from the flank, and like all the cheaper cuts, it's so rich in flavour. I cook it for a very short time over very high heat, but I like to marinate it first. Thank you. And for this, I found a magic Asian ingredient that tenderises the meat and infuses it with its fragrant sourness. It's tamarind paste, a bit like date, but without the sweetness. I just dissolve it in water and stir it into a rough puree. To balance the sourness, I add saltiness with some soy sauce. Just a little sunflower oil, a bit of moisturiser for the meat. And finally some honey. Its sweetness offsetting the tartness of the tamarind. Just a little mixed together, and then it's ready to get working on the steak. I like to give it a good massage before it goes into the fridge to marinate. To partner my steak, my radical radishes. That's to say, I roast them. It may sound strange, but cooked, their hot crunch is mellowed to a juicy pepperiness. Just halve them from top to tail, then drizzle over some regular olive oil. And arrange them cut side down on a roasting tray. There's something rather restfully mesmeric about this activity. They need only 10 minutes in a hot oven, which, rather handily, is pretty much the time I need to cook and rest my steak. Now, my butcher taught me that the only way to cook a bavette is to sear the hell out of it, and I quote, and then cook it really rare. So this is going to be hot. Here goes. To shake the marinade off. The wonderful thing about this tangy tamarind marinade is that it is so sour. It really intensifies the sweetness of the meat. So I give a bavette 2 minutes each side, ferocious, and then I let it rest for about 5. Turning him over. Oh. I love the char marks, and this is going to be properly black and blue. That's to say, blackened on the outside and really rare inside. I serve this carved into thin slices, and it's important that you carve against the grain, and you can see the grain so easily on a bavette, like that, going that way, and I shall slice this away. This is ready. And while the steak rests, I shall retrieve my ravishing radishes. They are ravishing indeed. They're so exquisite. I have a plate strewn with watercress, and I shall pile it pinkly with these beauties. The thing about roasting radishes is that they lose their crunchiness and become juicy, though still with bite. And their pepperiness is mellowed. And then all I need to do is scatter generously with sea salt and some chopped chives. Just exquisite and also divinely edible. Now, you've all got to put up with my bad carving. That's just how it is. So how's everyone been? Good?
Very good.
Very good.
It's taking a long time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right. So I'm going to do more. Don't you worry. I think I'm going to drape it in an attractive manner.
Thank you.
My darling, can I have your plate? Yep. Right. Little ribbons of meat. Oh, very good. You're matching matches.
Looks good. Thank you very much.
Tangle. He's going to mustard it up.
Let's have it here. Mustard. Wow.
I have to have mustard.
Of course.
I panic. I don't have mustard.
Yes.
I think it's you.
Really good for me. I'm in love with this.
I'll admit my chicken shawarma relies on an awful lot of spices, but this couldn't be easier to make. And besides, any recipe that starts with the zest and juice of 2 lemons makes my heart sing. And this involves minimal washing up, always an important factor for me. I throw everything in a plastic bag and I've already got 12 skinless, boneless chicken thighs nestling in there. Got some serious impaling work to do, because on top of that fabulous mimosa sprinkle of lemon zest, now the sharpness of the juice. Remarkably pipless lemons, although I don't much mind if a pip or two falls in. Very satisfying work. I want some olive oil, just regular olive oil. Bit of moisturiser. And now for my carefully calibrated spice collection. Some paprika first off. Gorgeous colour and gorgeous taste. Next, cumin. And the thing about these spices is it's not their individual voices, but it's the choir of flavour when they're together. Coriander, always the junior partner to cumin, but no less valuable, dried chili flakes. And now a slight flirt with the sweeter spices. Before I put too much in, a little bit of cinnamon. And some nutmeg, just freshly grated over. Going a bit more boisterous now with some garlic. Don't be alarmed, though, the garlic doesn't overwhelm. It's all perfectly harmonious. And I'm happy to throw the end bits in, and then... Fabulous. Need a crunch of salt. And 2 bay leaves. Serious bit of squelching to do now. This just sits in the fridge, gaining in tenderness and flavour, and then it goes into a hot oven for 30 minutes and it's cooked. The thing about the chicken shawarma, it's how you eat it as well as the fabulousness of the chicken itself. So I want a pile of warm flatbreads on the table, some tomatoes I'll chop up with some fresh mint, some shredded lettuce to go under the chicken, of course my pickle purchases. Oh, and I have to have my tahini yogurt sauce, which I sprinkle with pomegranate seeds. Now, although tradition decrees that this sauce should be served only with lamb shawarma, I think it partners my chicken perfectly. Start with regular plain yogurt and stir in some tahini, that rich and grainy sesame paste that I like to keep on hand. Add a good sprinkle of sea salt flakes and mince or grate in some garlic. When I serve this, I add a scattering of ruby pomegranate seeds, but for now, all I need to do is stir it together. As I'm making this ahead of time, I simply cover and chill this until I need it. I have peeps arriving and the heady aroma of chicken shawarma to welcome them with. William, you're meant to be on bread duty first.
No, yes, I'm going to be on bread duty.
But it's really too busy with the talking. And now I'll take it. Thank you very, very much. I'll meet you in a minute. There you are. I'm going to try and give you some lettuce too. Oh, you got one. So you have. Oh, yeah. They're beautiful, aren't they? The pink, the red, and the gold.
Yeah.
I'm loving that so much. It's like a cocktail.
That's Feta. What's in that sauce?
Tahini, yog, and garlic. Can I recommend a bit of the very nice pink turnip?
Please.
Look at this.
It's pretty.
And then I am going to apply to face.
Do you want to fall?
You have to wear your napkin like the old boys do, tucked in.
I've now reduced to fork behaviour.
Really.
Countless recipes start with an onion, but I prefer the sweeter, gentler tones of a banana shallot. If banana shallots elude you, you could always use a small red onion. These just need to be cut into chunky half moons. This is just so joyously easygoing. It's all about flavour, not finesse. A bit of fennel. Let's halve it. Try and remove the core. And as for the rest, just chop it, tubey bits and all. And a couple of cloves of garlic, not minced or anything, just squished, so I can get the skins off. And the thing about garlic is that when you mince it, it's really strong and hot, but when it's squished like this, it's mellow and sweet. I wouldn't normally cook with extra virgin olive oil, but because the temperature is so low throughout, it doesn't lose its fabulous flavour. Into the pan with this mixture. Oh, I love those colours. And here is the joy of this. The squid goes in just as it is, not chopped. Tentacles, always fabulous. There are really two ways to go with squid. You either cook it quickly at a high heat or go low and slow, and this is low and slow. And because the fennel and the squid both give out quite a bit of liquid, really this is about softly braising rather than frying. So you can see now that the tentacles are beginning to curl and have turned a wonderfully rosy terracotta at the edges, and the body of the squid has lost its translucency. So, on with the dance. Some Orzo pasta, and a can of tomatoes, a good squirt of tomato puree, just to boost the tomatoiness. And whenever I use canned tomatoes, I always swill out the tin with water, get every last drop. And in it goes. Little souvenir from a holiday, a splosh of Orzo. Don't be alarmed by this or by the fennel. Even those who profess aniseed antagonism love this. If you don't have Orzo, you could use vermouth. I'd be happy with red or white. It's important not to season at this stage, not least because any salt added now would toughen the squid. When this bubbles, I'm going to put it in a low oven for about an hour and 20 minutes, by which time the Orzo will have absorbed all the liquid and be quite sticky. And this squid will be so soft, I'll be able to cut into it just with this wooden spoon. And lo, it bubbles. So clamp on a lid and into the oven. Moment of truth. That's everything I wanted to see. Now it needs some water. Need to give it a good, gentle stir. And the important thing is to get all the sticky bits from the bottom. There's so much flavour in those bits. According to Terry Pratchett, burnt sticky bits were a food group. And since I didn't season before, it's time to go hardcore now, but let's taste. Needs quite a bit of salt. Some pepper. Perfect. I'm gonna have to stop myself from eating it all now. Got a forest of dill. You can have some more on the table when we eat, but for now, I'll stir this in and put it back in the oven just for 10 minutes with the lid off. A bowl of this with a crisp green salad, food for the Greek gods. You find me happily absorbed, bashing a couple of chicken breasts into elegant escalopes or cutlets. This is disturbingly gratifying. But these are ready. A bit of calm now. Before they get their crunchy coating, I'm going to bathe them in Dijon mustard. Even though they get such a brief dunking, the mustard really seems to tenderize them and gives such piquancy. On top of the mustard, some cinnamon. One clove of garlic, just mince it in. And And finally, 1 egg, just to bring everything together and help it stick to the chicken breasts. And I shall whisk these together. Ah, the gold and the blue. It's like the beach. And now in for a brief dip go these beautiful, look how thin, escalopes. This is so enjoyable. There's enough here to give quite a good thick coating. I'm going to leave these lying happily here while I go and wash my hands. This really is as easy as 1, 2, 3. We've had 1, the bashing, 2, the bathing, and 3, the crunchy coating. And this crunchy coating comes courtesy of cornflakes. I love the crumb you get from these. And now I massage and coax the cornflakes into crumbs. This whole recipe is a bit like being a 3-year-old, only better. I'm going to deepen the golden tan of the cornflake crumbs by adding some smoked pimenton or paprika. This adds a bit of heat, always good. So 1 by 1, these bathing beauties go into the cornflake crumbs to get crunchily coated. I find it easiest just to put each cutlet or escalope into the crumbs and then sprinkle or dust the top with more. And just carry on until they're thickly coated. While these chicken escalopes settle in their slightly fiery cornflake coating, I'll get on with my fennel, watercress and radish salad. First, a bulb of fragrant fennel, sliced as thinly as possible. If you want as clumsy as I am, you could use a mandolin, but I just don't trust myself with one. The same goes for the radishes, about 4 to 6 cut into thin discs. And a couple of handfuls of peppery watercress to line the plate, before showering the fennel on top. A squeeze of lemon, a pinch of sea salt, a trickle of extra virgin olive oil, and that's it. Right, I don't need much oil, and because these are so thin, I don't need much time. I'm ready to flip. And the outside is so crunchy. And they're done. A small readjustment of my leaves. And it's crunch time.